Spain up at the top at 2-0. The Ukraine are second at 1-1. And both of these teams, the Czechs and Hungarians, looking for their first win. And quite frankly, Shona Thorburn, I'm Jeff Taylor. Nice to meet you. I would say, in my opinion, Hungary have a better team on last night's evidence.
Yeah, you know, I think Courtney Vandersloot, she hasn't been with the team for all the preparation games. She just arrived recently because she was playing in the WNBA. I think we're going to see more out of her. You know, there's a lot of hype. She had a great season this year over in Europe, winning the Euro Cup, winning the Turkish League. So I think you're going to see her a little bit more comfortable today. I think she's going to be able to get her teammates involved, and that's what we want to see. But you know what? We talked last night, and neither of these teams played well yesterday. So I really expect both of them to come out today looking a lot better than we saw yesterday.
Well, you could argue that the reason why they didn't look good yesterday was because of the opposition. Hungary played against Spain and kept it respectable for much of the contest. They never really gave up. They fought for the whole time. The Czech Republic, however, the expectations are higher. I mean, this is a team that finished runners-up at the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup back in 2010, and even in 2005 went to Turkey and won the EuroBasket Women. But you have changes in generations, you have cycles, and right now the Czechs are kind of in a different cycle. You know, the stars of yesteryear, most of them are gone. There are still some remnants from the team that made it to the final in 2010. But this didn't look like a team that could do too much. They were blown out by Ukraine the other night. And it's on them to come out and put up a strong performance tonight from this home crowd.
It really is. They weren't able to do that last night. And you know what? They had no rhythm from the beginning of the game. Ukraine took it at them early and just deflated them. They made a couple runs in the second half, and they really couldn't get anything going. And you know what? Considering this is home court advantage, you have the fans. They're like the sixth man for you. They could not buy a basket. How many shots rimmed in and out for them? So I think it's going to be different today for them. You know, you're going to maybe blame that game on a horrible shooting night. They gave up a lot of offensive rebounds. That's something that's talked about, and that's something that's easily fixed. So I think we're going to have a different game from both these teams.
For a long-time assistant coach, Pavel Benes, now the head coach of the Czech Republic. And, one of the things that he said, he felt like being the home team, his team caved in under the pressure the other night. So they will, can they respond tonight and get the win? So we're going to have the playing of the national anthems for both teams, starting with Hungary. Now we'll have the national anthem of the Czech Republic. So the national anthems have been played. Svitek, the coach of Hungary, going over to shake the hands of Venice, and also the players exchanging handshakes and gifts, their badges, flags. Referees tonight from Montenegro, Russia, and Sweden. And it's an interesting environment here because you can just feel the pressure. You feel the pressure, can't you? That's on this Czech team. They are under pressure. They
really are. And, you know, it's going to be disappointing if they don't move on.
Well, we'll talk more about that, but Coach Svitek, I was impressed by number 7, Szymon Raksanyi. Fegvernecki got hot in the second half against Spain. Krivocevic was pretty solid. I mean, they've got some good players.
Yeah, they do, and I think people need to get going early, though.
Vandersloot, I didn't mention her, and Negi Bujoso. They're also in the starting lineup with Fegvernecki, Szymon, and Krivocevic. Vandersloot, is she a player that's going to make the difference tonight? We'll have to see. She was certainly tough against Spain, and Spain really did try to control her. So Venice, Ivan Venice, his team will, you know, Kia Vaughn, she's hugely important, but what he needs are the Ilona Begrovas, the Elena Hanusovas, the Katarina Elhotovas, the Petra Kulichovas to really stand up. Those are players that played in 2010. They're the connection to the hugely successful past of this national team. Now, Stezhkalova is going to start tonight, and Katarina Elhotova, Hanusova, Yorolova, and Kia Vaughn. So we'll see if Stezhkalova, her being in the starting lineup, maybe if that brings a little bit of impetus to the Czechs.
Yeah, and you know, I think as far as the Czechs go, he made a move putting Hanusova into the starting lineup. We didn't see her start yesterday, and it took her a while actually to get in the game. And to me, she can actually be one of the best players on the team outside of Kia Vaughn. And you look at the stats from last night, and Kia Vaughn had 16 points. No one else scored in double digits. You're not going to win games unless more people step up and more people contribute. And it's just the level of competition is too competitive. You need people to be good.
So Vaughn we know is good. Krivocevic, I think her stats really didn't do her justice to what she did yesterday. I mean, she was impressive. And maybe, just maybe, she's going to be the low post threat that Hungary need to win this game. It's interesting as you look at Stefan Svitek, you know, he coached the team back in 2015, and we were looking at their results from that tournament, and really Hungary, they weren't really on the receiving end of bad results except for a loss to Spain, and that was no disgrace. I mean, so they stuck with him, and he's brought him back, another qualification. Venice, you know, he's been with this Czech national team set up for a long time. So he kind of knows how it operates. But the question is he the guy that can take them, maintain their level, take them to a different level? You know, he operates kind of in the shadow of Lubor Blazek, the coach that he was the longtime assistant for. And in fact, Lubor Blazek sits right behind him during games. And, you know, there's questions as to whether or not he's getting a lot of advice during the games from the former head coach. So
yeah,
if you want Lubor Blazek to be the coach, make him the coach.
That's true. But talking about Czech and talking about the Czech players, you need more than Kia Vaughn to step up and score. And then talking about Hungary and the Hungarian players, we have Krivocevic last night who had 11 points, but she fouled out in only 22 minutes of play. So you need her on the floor because she can help them.
Well, welcome here back to the Czech Republic. It's the second day of this EuroBasket Women, in the game between Hungary and the host nation, the Czechs, is underway. And Fegvernecki of Hungary, the veteran of so many EuroBaskets Women, she has the ball in her hands, and she's able to get right inside and have a good shot. And Krivocevic was tangled up there with Kia Vaughn. Now I think by watching Ukraine play against Spain in the previous game, I think we gained even more appreciation for how difficult it would have been for the Czech Republic against them. They were a good team, and Hanusova already, as you said, now in the starting lineup, comes out and hits a short little turnaround jumper.
you know, maybe that's the confidence she needed, you know, having coach start her. And you saw her start to get competitive yesterday in the second half, but she could be the MVP of this team if she wants to be.
And Simone hits the long jump shot. She must have had the foot on the line. She's a nice player. Shifty. You know, Spain did not blow out Hungary yesterday. I thought they looked pretty decent. You know, number 2 team in the FIBA Women's World Rankings, or the FIBA World Ranking. Silver medalist at the Olympics. Spain, silver medalist, or the runners-up at the last FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup. Spain are a tough group, and this Hungary team, while you never really felt like they were going to win, they didn't run away, and they ran a lot of stuff that they wanted to run against Spain. I thought they looked pretty good at times.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they had a lot of shots. They had a lot of good shot attempts. They just didn't make them. So far in the, you know, however many games we've seen, 6 games already, we haven't seen a great shooting percentage from all the teams. So I don't know if that's nerves, first game jitters, but I think it's going to start to heat up soon.
Well, certainly the Czechs can only get better because they were awful.
They struggled shooting the ball.
And that's, you know, not stating the obvious. Finalization misses down low, but no Czech player there to get the rebound. And that is what killed them against Ukraine.
Yes, they gave up 18 offensive rebounds.
And Fegranecki punishes them with the layup, and she also draws the foul. So what happens when the ball bounces off the rim, lands right in the paint, and nobody got it?
Those are the kind of, you know, you kind of consider that rebound a hustle play. How are you not hustling harder than the other team?
Fegranecki converts the opportunity, and that is a very worrying sign for the Czech Republic. Kievon, wide open, not much pressure there, just shoots it right over Finalization. So we saw Grove in the starting lineup last night, but she's not in the starting lineup tonight. She had a tough game last night.
Yeah, she did. You know, she could not find her rhythm. That being said, no one could find their rhythm yesterday.
Now the pass right into the hands of Elhotova, and Simon comes back and commits the foul to stop the break.
You know, Elhotova yesterday 1 for 9, and that one came late in the 4th quarter. You hope that she gets going early because they really, really need her.
Well, here's Elhotova. She hands it off. Muralova. Back to Hanslova. She's playing very positive tonight. She misses that one, but she's looking for the shot. Vandersloot quickly over to Fegranecki. Now Elhotova. And a foul. Negative Joseph. Turnover goes right back over.
You know, this is the 3rd game we've seen. We've said this at the beginning of every game. Both these teams right now are playing harder than they did at the beginning of yesterday's game. So is it a desperation? Because you need to win this game if you want to have a chance to get out of group play.
Well, Bedoso takes the longer miss, but Vaughn's going to be called for the foul on Finalization. She must have got tangled up with her going for the rebound.
And Vaughn just looks at her like, really?
Watch this. Right there in the screen. Well, she definitely pushed her, but I'm not sure she would have called as much damage. And unable to inbound the ball. That'll be good for the Czechs, playing some good defense.
And that's just a lost opportunity. You know, you have to set good screens, especially on an inbounds out underneath your basket, because that should be a 2-point shot or a 3-point shot.
Hanasova again puts it up, and it's in. And you like it because the previous time she missed the 3.
Yep.
No hesitation.
No, she goes inside confidently, knocks it down. Hey, how are these Czech fans today? A little bit louder than the beginning of yesterday's game, eh?
Yeah, you could tell they're ready. Pegranecki. Well, she was a slow starter yesterday. She didn't get going until the second half, but tonight she's come right out firing. So Hungary back in front. Teskalova. Over to Viorlova. Big question mark about the Czechs these days is at the point guard position. Oh, nice play by the point guard of Hungary, Vandersloot. Pegranecki dumps it down low, and Nega Budoso scores.
That's just good basketball. You know, you saw the mismatch. She was calm when Pegranecki got the ball in transition. And then you found the mismatch, and it was 2 easy points.
And now the pass from Viorlova over to Elhotova just sails out of bounds.
You know, the start of this game with Pegranecki already having 5 points. Do you know who she reminds me of? The other veteran who played earlier today in Slovakia. Zarkova, who came out and she was not going down without a fight. She led them. She's got to be MVP today.
Vandersloot for Hungary. Yeah, no doubt about it. Zarkova had a terrific game for the Slovak Republic. And it has to be said, she didn't really, wasn't able to enjoy it until the final buzzer.
But she enjoyed it. I saw her celebrating with her teammates.
Now down to Hanasova. And I'll tell you what, watching the way that she started tonight, you have to wonder why she wasn't in the lineup last night. Rivacevic for 3, that's off. And the ball bounces to Elhotova. A nice pass inside the ball. Pegranecki gets swatted by Elhotova.
You know, you thought Elhotova was beat there, but she did a good job of getting back, not staying away from the foul, and then contesting the shot, and ended up being a block.
Inside to Vandersloot. She'll take a trip to the line. Nice pass by Shumon.
We call this a shoe timeout.
Yes, time to shoot.
There's the shoe timeout, and then there's the hair timeout. When you have to put your hair back up in a ponytail.
And the free throw is good. Why don't we just have a crew cut?
These are women's basketball problems.
Dribbles up top. Andrusova. And I think there was a hold. So you do get the feeling it's just going to be tight all the way. Much separating these two teams. And Shimon picks up another foul, so she'll have to take a seat. And as she comes out, coming in is number 5, Roxani. Now Viorlova hits the 3. Well, we haven't said that one.
They've already surpassed their record from last night. Oh.
But quickly, Vandersloot. Guillemot catches it down low, passes it back. And nice drive, but the layup is missed. And Kia Vaughn is beside herself for getting the foul called. I have to say, it seems a bit odd. I would have thought the foul was on on Krivicevich. Watch this here. Look at this. Well, I mean,
that's 2 rebounding foul calls that were a little iffy called on Kia Vaughn. And you know what? I think she's just so much stronger.
Yeah.
That it's not to her advantage right now.
Letsani misses. A little similar to Hollingford of Turkey.
Yeah.
In some ways, she's bigger and stronger than the opponents. It seems to count against her. Hanasova, go! Well, she started extremely hot. She has knotted it at 15. 8 points already for Elena Hanasova. Kievon knocks it away into the hands of Viorlova. Viorlova, Elhotova from the baseline. Go!
This is a different Czech team we're seeing tonight.
So we saw the Viorlova three-pointer. Now we've seen Elhotova hit a jump shot. And
that wasn't happening for them last night.
But 2 free throws, and if that foul, who's the foul on? Is it Elhotova? Okay, that's her first. The only problem is the Czechs are only up by 2 points. Krivicevich doing a good job of getting that whistle blown in her favor. Now Bergrova comes into the game. Some pressure on Bergrova, maybe because she didn't play that well the other night. So maybe she can, or the other night, last night, maybe she can come out tonight and bring the rebounding and the hard-nosed play that's made her famous in this country.
It's basically made her a staple of this national team since their great run in 2010.
Viorlova, she's already hit 1 3. She gets it inside to Bergrova. She puts it up, and that's a great start for her. Megan Bujosa, wide open. Well, she wants to take it. She needs to take it, and she does take it. 19 apiece now.
Both these teams are just playing with so much excitement, energy, aggression.
And now Krivicevich fouls Bergrova and bends over to help her up.
It's just her first. That's good because you really don't want her to get into foul trouble. They need her, and they need her on the floor.
Knocks in the first one. What must have been said after last night's game, I wonder? Who said it? Did the coach say it? Did the players say it?
You know what? I wouldn't have been surprised if they had a players-only meeting and they said, listen, guys, that wasn't us. We're going to knock down shots. What happened last night, it's not going to happen again. And we're going to make sure it's not going to happen again because we're going to play better. We're going to be more aggressive. And that's what you're seeing in this first quarter.
Well, Hungary are they're getting opportunities here to score every time down. The Czech defense.
Something to be questioned right now. Yeah, they're playing well offensively, but I still think they're playing the same as they did yesterday defensively, where they gave up 42 points in the first half.
Well, she makes the free throws and puts Hungary back in front. And the free throw line is so important. And the miss, Megan Bujosa gets it. Jesse has it. Hungary 6 of 7 at the free throw line so far. Hatar, the center, to Majessi. Majessi back. Oh, nice stroke, a little bit too long. And Uralova doesn't rebound it, she taps it.
Good job, Tip. You know what? And she tapped it knowing where her other offensive player was.
Negabujoso drives in and misses the layup, and Hatar is there. Back to Majessi. And now Negabujoso misses. And look at Bergrova handle the ball. She's going to go all the way, and she's going to miss it. Well,
that's a tough take by a big. You know, you're asking her to dribble all the way up the court and then go in for a layup. But you know what I like is that they're being aggressive. You didn't see this yesterday.
Oh, wow, Hatar missed that. He's not going to be happy. Oh, boy, that is a bad turnover for the Czech Republic.
Yeah, you know, you call those an unforced error. No one made them turn it over like that. So those are the disappointing ones. Those are ones that you really can't have in a game if you want to win. You see Hanasova and Bragova earlier with both their hands on their knees. They are a little winded at the end of this first half, eh?
They are indeed. Hanasova's playing big minutes here. I'm sure she was desperate to get back out here tonight after last night. Vandersloot misses off. How does she rebound her own miss like that? And Sanye, and a three-point play opportunity. And even though the Czechs are clicking a little bit better offensively, they still have this issue about giving away rebounds and defense.
And I don't understand it. They're taller. How are they not rebounding better?
So a little bit of a momentum stealing play right at the end of the first quarter. Hungary lead it 24-20 over the Czechs. I mean, look, the Czech Republic is losing despite shooting 8 of 11 inside the arc. And the big difference is Hungary is getting a lot of free throws. Well, the Czechs could not have asked for more from Hanasova starting tonight, coming out and scoring a bunch of points. But from a defensive standpoint and also a rebounding standpoint, keeping the Hungarians off the glass at their end of the floor, it just hasn't worked for the Czechs. And they're getting beat. You don't want to see them getting beat on drives to the basket and give away fouls like that.
Yeah, you know, those offensive rebounds have led to points for the Czech team, for the Hungary team. So really, guys, if the Czech Republic want to win this game, you need to box out. You need to take care of the ball, and we haven't really seen that. But I have seen a different team from last night, and I'm excited about what I'm seeing. You know, you talked about Hanasova. She has 8 points already in this first half. She had 8 points yesterday in total. I said before the tournament, she could be the MVP of her team if she wants to. She is the best Czech player who plays in Prague for the EuroLeague team. She has a EuroLeague championship under her belt. She is an amazing and athletic player.
Kulachova now into the game, going at Hatar, and Karolina Elhotova takes the shot, misses. Kulachova has it, puts it up, and draws the foul. So maybe got away with a double dribble?
Yeah, who knows? Maybe someone knocked it out of her hand.
Here's another look at it. You watch.
All right.
She's all right?
Yeah, it was all right. Wasn't pretty, but hey, she's going to the free throw line.
Zaplatova also back in. She had started last night, and Kulichova just goes 1 of 2. And Kulichova moving, setting a screen. Here again, watch her at the top of your screen. Just kind of stepped right in front the last second. 2 fouls on her. Not a player they want to lose.
No, it is not.
Seskalova. Zaplatova puts up a 3. Good position from Tatar, but then she passes it right to Hotova. Hotova's online. It's good. It's it back to 1 point. Up ahead. Whoa, what a catch by Krivicevich. Couldn't quite control it. And in the end, the extra hustle ended up getting a foul called on Majestic.
That's a tough foul call. In my opinion, both players were going for the ball from different angles. I'm not sure if I would have called a foul on that play, but I'm also not a referee, so.
So we've got a timeout. 8:39 remaining in the second quarter.
Tartsd meg, jönnek hozzá, kézbe kiveszik a labdát. Jó lepattanó volt, ne adjuk el a labdát, hey! Dolgozzunk, ők legyenek nervózak, és míg belóvunk a kosarakat. Nem kell most nyerni a meccset. Slow down a little bit, play good defense, rebound the ball again. We don't rebound, Meďo, másodszor beállkál.
Musíme ty helpít, aby jsme nedostávali koše pod koše. Hlavně zvládneme Kájo.
So he didn't mess around. He just like called a timeout immediately, like not even a minute.
You know, I guess he didn't like what he saw. So he wanted to stop it early. He clearly made his point known and then calmed down, spoke in English to give a little bit of directions after that. So he wasn't happy with the girls starting the second quarter.
Zaplatova to Karolina Hotova. Inside to Kulichova. And Tatar did a good job of standing up. It's not often that Kulichova goes up against players that are a lot taller than her, but she is right now. Grova over to Hotova, and Katarina Hotova is also in the game, but she misses. Her sister gets the rebound. Pekranecki, I think, is going to come back into the game. If you look at the replay of Vandersloot tugging on Grova. So that was an easy call to the referee. So Vandersloot's going to come out of the game. No, she's going to stay in. So Vandersloot will run the point. And remember, Grova had her struggles at the line last night. She makes that one.
A little bit of an unorthodox free throw shooter, but you know what? You go with what works, and I think at her age, she's not going to change her form now.
No, she has kind of a hitch.
Yeah, it's not smooth, which is what you normally like to see from a shot at the free throw line.
Well, she made both of them, and she put the Czechs back in front. Remember, Svitek wants his team to take its time. Don't be in such a rush. Pekranecki on the baseline, much better.
Why not? They used the clock, they moved it. I think all 5 people touched the ball in that possession. Then you have a wide open shot.
And then for the baseline again. Zaplatova, her first basket. Good to see her walking around tonight because she took a shot last night, didn't she?
Yeah,
Knocked the wind out of her. Pegranecki loses her footing. And then a reach by Kulichova. That gives her the foul.
Yeah, that was pretty good defense. Kind of bailed them out a little bit. You know, I think they had her trapped, and it's just a bailout.
Well, they were going to rotate the ball to a wide open Pegranecki, and Elhotova got a hand in there.
Yeah, that was a good job just reading where, you know, she thought the offense wanted to go and she slowed them down. That was going to be a wide open baseline shot.
And the way Pegranecki's been shooting it, that probably would have gone in. Negibudjoso steps inside the arc. And now Kulichova with the rebound. An offensive foul, Kulichova.
Yeah, she never really set her feet. And, you know, we have that whole discussion that, again, did the guard move before the screen was there?
I don't know, but I mean, that is the most called foul at this EuroBasket Women. It's
we
like
have.
every 20 seconds we're getting a moving screen foul.
But, you know, before major competitions, the referees, you know, the head referee talks to all the teams and says, this is what I've told the refs to look for. So they know.
A point of emphasis.
Yeah, they have these meetings before these major tournaments. So you can't say, oh, I didn't know they were going to call that.
Shot clock winding down for Pegranecki, and Negibudjoso, well, what? Extra hustle.
Yeah, and that's what you need to win these games.
Now Vandersloot dumps it to Hatar, but she can't hold on to it. She chases it down. Shot clock winding down. Shimon has to launch it. And she puts up an air ball.
That wasn't a bad idea by Vandersloot to kind of lob it up to Hatar, but I think Vandersloot is used to playing with a Hollingsworth of Turkey. You know, that's where they play together over in Turkey during the year. And you know, Hollingsworth is just more experienced. She knows that's coming. She has the hands to catch it. That's a tough catch for Hatar.
Well, Giavon has come back into the game. She's had a good rest. Pegrova misses, though, from the baseline. Look at Vandersloot go behind her back. Spins, gets it to Negibudjoso, and then she lost it. Ended up double dribbling. Krivachevich with Vaughn back in the game is going to come in and spell Hatar.
And you really don't want her to pick up her third foul here going into halftime. There's still 5.5 minutes left, but he needs her. He needs her now for a little bit of a scoring punch. So you hope she doesn't get a stupid foul.
Pegrova rolls in, scores with the left hand. Tell you what, it takes a strong personality to be able to rebound from a disappointing effort like she had last night. She's done a very good job tonight.
She really has. I like what I'm seeing from her already.
Oh, they hit the cutter, and Shimon scores easily.
Have you noticed every time Hungary has moved the ball from one side of the floor to the other, and they've had movement, and they're playing offense with pace, they've had wide open shots, and they've scored.
They should do it every time down the floor.
And it's pretty basketball.
Giavon, just ball slipped out of her hands.
She might be a little frustrated with those 2 early fouls that she got. Can't really play within rhythm. Can't play how she normally plays, maybe.
Well, she gives away a couple of inches, doesn't she, to Krivicevich?
Yeah, but she makes those up with her strength.
Pekbernecki again, just like you said, although they didn't rotate it, she just dribbled it in from the wing.
But there was still movement. They used a little bit of the clock. Oh, good defense.
Elhotova got a little bit of space, puts it up and in.
You say good defense, even better offense.
And there was also a foul on the play on Negi Bujoso. So this can be a very good trip down the floor for the Czechs. Vandersloot comes out, takes a breather. Zaley comes in, number 51. Also, Negi Bujoso goes out. Medjesi is in. So 2 shots as well. Goodness me, it could be a 4-point play. Swiatek is not happy. And also ball foul on Negi Bujoso.
And that's her 3rd. You know, not even the 2 points that you could give up here. She has 3 fouls. She's an important part of their team.
Petrova's got 7 points, but she's missed the first. Ooh. And misses both, so an opportunity goes begging. Again, coming in from the wing to get it Pekbernecki. Shimon pulls up for 3. Karolina Elhotova. Vaughn inside the arc. Well, we're so used to her operating down low, but she can step outside.
You know, it wasn't really working for her down low, so she said, all right, you know what? It's going to take my game out a little bit further. Oh, great step out. Oh.
And Medjesi draws the foul from Zaplatova.
You saw Bergrova there say, oh man, we had her. Look at that step out. She had to dribble backwards. And then kind of bailed her out at the end with that foul.
So that was the 13th foul on the Czech. Zaplatova goes to the bench. Hanusova in.
And now we have Hanusova playing the 4, which I think she's more comfortable at.
Zayla for 3. Good, boy. She stepped into it. No hesitation.
None whatsoever.
Left-handers always look so good, don't they? I don't know what it is.
Are you referencing Celine Numeric when she shoots and makes those big shots?
I wouldn't have said that she had a beautiful left-handed stroke, actually, but normally.
An offensive foul.
On Vaughn, and it's number 3.
So if you think about it, she's had 2 rebounding fouls and now an offensive screening foul.
Boy, it's been interesting. I mean, we talk about the naturalized players, and it seems like some of the naturalized players just are not having their way.
You know what's unusual for me? I kind of, we're watching these games and it looks like they're not used to the European game.
But yet they play in Europe.
But yet they play in Europe. But maybe they're used to playing with Americans on their team in Europe.
Good point, yeah.
So when it really comes to European basketball, this is the best European basketball you can get, maybe they're not used to this style of play.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Because with Prague, I mean, she's the only Czech, so to speak, in the team that's playing big minutes. Hanusova, gosh. I mean, you just really have to, maybe this is the making of Elena Hanusova.
You know what, I remember playing against her back in 2014 at the World Championships. And she was young then, she was only 23 maybe at the time. And now And you saw her then. You saw her glimpses of what she could be. And you see it in EuroLeague Women this year. She can be a great player. She's so athletic for her height. And I really think she's going to will this team to win if they end up winning tonight.
Well, Kulachova just missed the easiest of shots. But Hanusova, yeah, I mean, somebody has to stand up. And I think you could tell last night she was really angry about everything.
She was. She was disappointed in herself. I think that's the biggest thing.
And the turnover gives it back to the home side. But I think just as we expected, this game is tight. And I can't imagine this game not going down to the wire the way it's being played.
Me neither, and I think both these teams are playing better than they did yesterday. Neither one of them really shooting the ball well again, but they're shooting it better than they did yesterday. You know, you still sort of feel the woes, the shooting woes that the Czech have had. They are only 1 for 7 from 3. You know, they made 1 3 last night, and that's where you really felt. You were like, gosh, they're putting up all these threes and they're not making them. But it just feels better. The atmosphere feels better. The fans are enjoying this a lot more than they did yesterday. So we'll see. It's going to go down to the wire.
And also, again, I think it's worth, the way that Ukraine played today. They were so physical against Spain, especially defensively, and the way they were able to make plays. You can see why the Czechs lost that game. I mean, let's be honest. Right now, Ukraine have a better team than the Czechs. Now, this is probably it's a much more even matchup.
Yeah, I agree with you. And, watching the Ukraine and Czech game yesterday, we weren't sure if Ukraine was that much better or if Czech were really playing bad. But then after watching Ukraine against Spain today, we both said, oh, okay, you know what? Ukraine they're a legit team. They came ready to play. They look good. So, maybe the Czechs had a bad game, but they also played a very good team yesterday.
Exactly, and they were exposed. Also, I think the lineup change made a big difference tonight. 2 changes in the starting lineup. Without question, Hanusova came out and carried him early.
She really did.
And the other thing that was interesting was she brought Petrova off the bench, and she was more effective coming off the bench. The interesting thing also is the fact, however, that Vaughn had played decent last night, so she's struggled tonight. So you just never know from one game to the next what you're going to get. So, you see the three-point shooting, the struggles for both teams. Hungary have 2 threes from inside the arc. The Czechs a little bit better. And from a rebounding standpoint, the Czech Republic still suffering. They're being out-rebounded 7-3 on the offensive glass, 19-14 overall.
I don't want to jinx the Czech, but they did give up 6 offensive rebounds in the first quarter. They've only given up 1 in the second, so I think that's something that Coach talked about after the first quarter and said, hey, do you guys want to have what happened last night, or are you going to do your job? And they have in the second quarter.
They have given away a lot of penetration in this game in the drives. And why is that? Because their defense is too extended. Well, they got 4 seconds on the shot clock.
Oh.
And again,
wow.
now, to complicate matters, the pass leads to a fast break and a 3-point play opportunity. Absolute disaster.
Really, I don't understand how something like that can happen after a timeout. Coach drew up a play. How do you turn the ball over? You don't even turn it over. You let it lead to a fast break and an and one.
It's just a bad combination with the pass and the catch.
And these are the kinds of plays that the Czechs give up. And you say, gosh, you guys really are maybe in that rebuilding phase, and you don't have the veterans and the know-it-alls who just bring this, who wouldn't let that happen. I'm pretty sure Horokova never would have thrown a pass that would have led to something like that.
No, she wouldn't. No, nice pass inside.
But she is a legend.
Hanasova. Elhotovic's online. It's good! Oh, that's a good response. 7 points for her now. That's her first three-pointer. She had one last night, 1 of 9.
One late in the game.
Maybe she's going to start taking it personally.
I hope she does. That means that things are going to get exciting.
Pekranecki has it. She shakes, she bakes, and she draws the foul from Elhotova. So free throws. And again, that is just a very, unfortunately for the Czechs, poor defensive play. Shot clock winding down, game clock, and you foul the opponent.
Yeah, it really is.
She wasn't even in the lane.
Yeah, there I was going to say. She wasn't even going up for a shot. She was still kind of dribbling almost. And then you put, you know, the veteran, the leader, the heart and soul of this Hungarian team, Pekranecki, back on the free throw line, where she's already 3 for 3.
And with 4.7 seconds remaining.
I guess you can kind of get one last sort of heave up. I'm thinking, you know, the Hungarian coach is good enough. He said, hey guys, get up, pressure them a little bit, but no fouls, so nothing easy. Yeah, and we see it.
Well, they're gonna try to get a basket here. That last 4.7 seconds. And it really is a case for the Czechs that they're their own worst enemy. It really is. The turnovers, the silly fouls at the wrong times. And it's not like Elhotova hasn't been around.
Yeah.
I mean, she was a member of the 2010 team.
Yeah. And you know, you see it though in their face, in their body language when they make a mistake like that. They go, she knows better, and she knows better than that. And it's just, I don't know if it's fatigue that leads to a mental lapse every now and then, or pressure. I mean, we have another full game, the arena is full today, so do they feel this extra pressure? Everyone knows how important this game is to move on.
I think last night the pressure was palpable.
Yeah.
But tonight it seems to be more of support. It's
Yeah.
like it's helping them. So these girls are big enough, I mean,
Experienced enough
to know, you know, you can't be making a foul in that situation. So I don't know. But again, it's easier for us to be up here. I'm sure that if I was saying that about you out there right now, you'd be throwing the ball at me.
And you know, just like
You
we
never make
comment
mistakes like
about
that,
the refs sometimes too. We're not out there making calls, so.
So Elhotova, shot clock, oh, they find Hanasova wide open. Oh, she gets blocked. Oh, what a, almost snuck one in there. You know, Hanasova didn't catch it clean there. She fumbled it.
I thought maybe she could have actually just caught and shot the 3, no, instead of taking a dribble into that shot.
It was a terrific play that they drew up. I mean, she was going to have the shot, and Hatar was able to just step in there and get the block.
Well, you know, we talked about Hatar yesterday and her length, and for those listening.
So look at the stats. I think the score is 38-38, right? Anyway, 14 rebounds, 19 for Hungary, and turnovers. So this is where we are at halftime.
And you know, you see, we saw on the stats there on the screen, the Czechs are shooting a much better percentage than they did yesterday. They're at 55% from the 2, compared to Hungary shooting 41. You know, that's the difference. That's why I think the Czechs are still in this game. They've made up for some mental mistakes that we talked about, unforced turnovers that have been very costly. They've led to and-ones, they've led to rebounds, 3-pointers. So I think the reason why they still are in this game is because they are shooting such a great percentage from the floor.
Well, on those thoughts, stick around for the second half. We'll be coming right back. Another thrilling 20 minutes. Stay tuned.
Takže ještě jednou vás poprosím o poslední kouzelný potlesk pro tým první československé basketbalové ligy žen na ročníku 1963-64. A na týdny program na poločasové přestávce pokračuje v plném proudu, protože za malý okamžik si dozvíte, jestli ten program bude šťastný výherce pronájmu vozu Hyundai i30 GD Kombi na prázdninovou jízdu z Hyundai na 3 měsíce. Pravidla jsou známá, jedna z účastníků bude úspěšná, pronájem vozu Hyundai je váš. Prosím. Snažili jsme ho ještě pomoci, ale bohužel na hlavní cenu nebude, tak gratulujeme odvážnému soutěžícímu, který i tak podrží alespoň drobný krátkou celě této vzpomínku a své dnešní střelecké postavení.
38 apiece here in Hradec Kralove in the Czech Republic. The Czech Republic and Hungary battling 2 0-1 teams. Seen some good things, especially from the Czech Republic, but also some bad things. And it's because of the latter that the Hungarians have been able to knot it up, getting a late 3-point play, and it's nervous time. If you were nervous before the start of this game, you're even more nervous now, because to be 0-2 for the Czech Republic and going into a game against Spain, you're a Czech fan, you wouldn't give yourself much of a chance to move on into that next round. So it's do or die right now for these guys.
It really is. This is one of the most important games of the group phase for them, and they realize it, I think, because they've come out with a different kind of energy. You know, you can't really get much closer than 38-38, so it's almost like a new game right now, a new 20 minutes, and who's going to be there at the end of the game.
Well, are we going to see a change in approach at all tonight, or do these two teams in the second half, or are these two teams going to just come back out and give us more of the same?
You know, I'm not sure what Czech talked about. I think they said we should be up by a little bit more, but we've had some mental breakdowns that have led to scores for Hungary. You know, if you think about it, especially late in that second quarter, those are easy things that the Czechs can correct. For Hungary, I think the best offenses that they had, we talked about this, is when the ball moves from one side of the court to the other, almost all 5 people hit it, or at least all 5 people are involved. There's people setting screens, there's people moving, back cutting. Led to wide open shots that they made. So you need to say, listen, be confident, take your shot. If we don't have anything early, run the offense, because whenever they run an offense, they have a great shot at the end of it.
Well, Swiatek is giving some last-minute instructions, and
she's on the way, set it down. She's not.
You know, here's a team that didn't advance to the last, didn't get past the opening group phase. Excuse me, no, they did get past. They won 1 game at the last EuroBasket, but it was deemed an unsuccessful EuroBasket, especially as they were the host nation, along with the co-host of Romania. And the Hungarian teams, Sopron, for example, are these teams that are giving their players high-level experience? I know traditionally they've been in EuroLeague Women.
Yeah, they are. You know, maybe the Hungarian league isn't as good as some other leagues out there.
Top to bottom, yeah.
Yes, but there's a lot of, you look at this Hungarian team, and we mentioned this yesterday. Every single one of their 12 players either plays in EuroCup Women or EuroLeague. A lot of them do play in Hungary, but so maybe they're not getting great competition during the Hungarian season, but they're getting great competition in the EuroCup and EuroLeague season.
So Hungary start things off with Vandersloot here at the start of the second half. Krivicevich, and she fumbles the ball away. And Hanusova collects it. Gives it to Vyorlova.
Oh, there's a mismatch inside. They see it.
Dele was able to front Kieval, and then Hanusova comes up and says, "Not in my house, young lady." Karolina Elhortova gets it to Hanusova, and she decides to go to the basket. Strong! She's a completely different player. I have to say, she has really been the leader tonight.
She has. She's doing it everywhere. I think maybe getting that start gave her a little bit of confidence. I'm sure after yesterday's game, she had messages from her coach in Prague. She had messages from her friends, her family, her support team that said, "You're so much better than you did yesterday. Be aggressive." And that's what she is doing right now.
Well, she didn't get the 3-point play, but the basket does put her team in front. And now Karolina Elhortova brings it up. Yorlova this time, just nowhere to go.
No, that was ugly offense for the Czech team. I don't know why they just don't go back to Hanasova.
Just give her a touch every time down. Let her start at the top
Why
of the
not?
key
See
or
what
the wing.
happens.
Three, long shot, Daly. She follows up the missed shot. That is just awful rebounding by the Czechs. Just standing around.
They really do. They don't get a body on anyone, but then they also don't go after the ball and rebound.
And they dodged the bullet there because Fegrenecki had to go in and out. And they know, well, Dele's knows the pass is coming to Vaughn, and twice now she's taken it away.
But you know what? Vaughn has had position. Vaughn has been posting up. She's had mismatches, and it's the guards who haven't been able to get her the ball. If I'm Vaughn, I'm actually getting mad at my teammates right now and saying, you need to pass it up, you need to pass it away from the defense. I'll go and get it, but give me a better pass.
Vandersloot gets inside and has it taken away. Yorlova. Yorlova stops. Back to Skalova. And now Yorlova hits the long jump shot. And it gives them a little bit more breathing room, up 4 points now.
I wouldn't feel comfortable with only a 4-point lead, but at least they have the lead. And you know, it looks like
Well, Krivicevich misses a short one.
we see Vandersloot. We've talked so much about her in these last 2 games, and it's not the player you really hear about or saw playing with her Turkish team this year during the year. And I think she's the kind of player who needs more time to get to know her teammates, know what they like, know where they're going to be, and you just don't seem like she knows that right now.
Good defense. A hand swatted the shot. And the drive from Krivicevich. She was close. Now to Vaughn.
Beautiful pass.
She was fouled by Roxanne.
I do think if this Czech team wants to start to widen this 4-point gap, they need to get Vaughn going. She only has 6 points. She had 16 last night, but she is someone who could almost score every time down the court. So if I'm the Czech team and if I'm the Czech coach, I'm saying, you know what, let's run plays for Vaughn, let's run plays for Hanasova and see what happens.
Free throw is good. Second one is good as well. Six-point advantage. Hatar, the tall center in, the youngster. She rolls to the basket. Nagy Budoso. And now for really the first time in the game, Hungary starting to unravel a little bit offensively, looking out of sync. I would not be surprised to see a timeout, and especially if that had gone in. Fegrenecki. Oh, she penetrates, and good read from Katarina Elhotova, gets a hand on it. So Hungary are going to call timeout because you can see that they're just not fluid.
No.
Although that said, I mean, Fegrenecki did have a
that was a good take.
look.
That was a decent look. You know, maybe she was fouled, maybe she wasn't, but they haven't scored yet in this half, in this quarter.
Try
So
one time, peace with pass. Peace next offense, peace with pass. Nori, defend, de nem foul. Jó blokk ide Norira, és mindjárt kikér el a labdát. Ha lehet, not Nori, no shot, pass, human game.
Do you think it would be difficult to play for a coach who, obviously English isn't going to be his first language? I mean, Svítek speaks decent language, but he kind of goes back and forth, doesn't he? Or is basketball an international language?
You know what? Yeah, basketball is an international language. I mean, you can read a board and figure out what he's trying to tell you to do. So, and you know, if these players are used to it, 'cause they play, you know, the American players that are here play over in Europe, so they're used to coaches having English be not their first language. So,
True.
you know what? And they're smart enough to know, wait, hold on, I didn't understand. What do you want me to do?
Right.
They'll ask someone.
It's probably even more pronounced when you see, for example, a foreign coach of China and having a translator to the Chinese team than it would be over here. It's like you said, the experience of the, especially the naturalized players. Because if they've been naturalized, they already play in Europe.
Yeah, exactly.
So Negibudoso picks up a hard one. And Hanikova.
Not sure that's the shot that coach drew up.
Tuskalova, though, has it. There you go. This is who needs to have the ball. And, I mean, it was a mismatch. There's no way Roxania is going to stop her. 2 fouls on her. So shaping up to be one of the closest EuroBasket women that I can ever remember.
Especially the group play you're talking about, yeah?
Yeah. In group play, definitely.
I mean, you think about Group C and D. What's going on over in Prague right now?
It's just madness.
Excitement.
One thriller after another. So all eyes in the Czech Republic, or most eyes, are on this game right here. Hatar, right about that. Nice turn around.
I mean, you are not going to be able to block her. That's a great looking shot, and she is so tall. There's no way you can block that shot, or even contest it almost. This is not a pretty offense right here.
No, and 5 seconds turns it over. Keep on not having the same impact tonight. They're not allowing her to have the same impact.
And you know, maybe that was part of their game plan, so they're doing a good job. So here we've had Hungary finally reverse the ball. Looks like they're running some offense. And what do they get?
And they go again to Hatar. It's funny because I was just double checking something on Hatar where how she had done the last couple of seasons. And, you know, doesn't really play that much in the EuroLeague Women, but she does get some minutes, and it's kind of typical that you see a lot of the Europeans not play as much for their clubs.
Yeah, you know, no surprise there, because a lot of times the Americans, the foreigners, the Canadians, the Australians, are overseas and getting some of the playing time for maybe the domestic players in their league.
The Paraguayans.
You know, and that's why a lot of leagues have the rule. You know, you have to have a certain amount of domestic national team players on the floor at one time. You know, Turkey does it, Russia does it. For this reason, you want your players to improve.
I mean, it's an issue of development, getting your players to develop, but also winning.
Yes.
And the coach wants to win.
Everyone wants to win.
Traveling. And, you know, the Czechs, they were up 44-38. And look at the score now. It's 44-42. And Hungary have the ball.
You can maybe say it hasn't been as of exciting start to the third quarter as we saw in the first quarter of today's game. You know, only 4 points by Hungary, 6 points by the Czech Republic.
They they might need like an insertion of Vergrova to bring some energy for the Czechs. Oh, Nagy Badosa almost.
I agree.
That one.
We haven't seen her yet this half, have we? And remember the last time she came in?
Yeah.
She was doing great on defense. She was hard hedging. She was being aggressive. She was denying, but then she was also aggressive on offense and got to the free throw line.
Oh, great defense from Nagy Badosa, knowing exactly what Hanusova was going to do, but full mark to Hanusova again.
At least she's being aggressive. You know, we haven't seen her. She had a couple shots early in the third quarter, and then that's it. And what did you just say?
Yeah, Vergrova's going to come in and bring some extra aggression. So she should win that matchup physicality-wise with Nagy Badosa.
And height-wise, definitely.
But on the other hand, Elhotova drives
That's
in
a
and
tough
stops
shot.
the rock for the Czechs.
I don't think she saw the basket over Hazar there when she let that go.
Very quietly, Elhotova is starting to have a nice game. 9 points, but Vandersloot sticks it in from the line. She is zagtastic.
I think the Zags would agree with you.
Zag Nation.
They have a really big following. They have a great men's team,
Yeah.
especially. You
Got
know
to the
what?
final.
Oh, Mark Few, what he has done with that program there.
Yeah, class, pure class.
And you know what? Maybe some of their success is all the European players that they've been able to go and recruit to come play for them.
That's right. Were it not for the University of North Carolina, they would have been the national champs this year.
Little shout out to your alma mater there.
Diorlova gets it to Vergrova, who played at South Carolina. Now Diorlova's shot clock ticking down, and that's a tough shot. And Nagy Rexani just says, what more can I do? Had a hand in the face at the end of the shot clock. She didn't want to foul her. Vandersloot, 7 on the shot clock. No look pass, Nagy Badosa.
Answer, you know what? And I actually thought that was the best defense that the Czech has played all game. They were hard hedging. They had Hungary out way past the three-point line. But
that's the advantage they're going to have in that matchup with Vergrova.
yes,
She's going to step outside.
she is. She's athletic. She's aggressive.
Vergrova was thinking about launching one. And then the help defense from Shimon. And that's a silly play from Shimon, really. They've got her sealed. Vergrova's not going to go anywhere. Well, I guess she's going for the steal. Fekranecki is back in the game for Vandersloot. Vandersloot not quite as influential tonight as I might have expected. And Vergrova again, who's had the issues at the free throw line. She was 3 of 6 before that, so now she goes to 4 of 7. And fantastic, makes both and stretches the lead back to 3.
You know, I agree with you about Vandersloot. I kind of
Hazard scores. Catches it and becoming more of a threat, isn't
honestly,
she?
for her size, you see a lot of women her height, and they don't have great mobility, but you would have no idea she is as tall as she is with the way she moves.
Vergrova to Vaughn. Vaughn floats in and earns a trip to the line. She almost went to the line for an and-one.
I think Vaughn took some insult to that beautiful play that happened on the other end where Hatar finished with 2 because she had to sort of step out and was worried about the ball handler and just decided to take it straight back at Hatar.
Vaughn, who has 8 points, misses the first free throw, her first free throw of the night. She had been 2 of 2. Hasn't really forced anything tonight. I mean, she's perfect from the floor, 3 of 3. She misses both free throws. That's characteristic. Pegranecki to Negi Budoso. And Shimon for three! How is that for Hungary? You've got Hatar, you've got Negi Budoso, and now you've got Shimon scoring the last 3 baskets, 2 of those from three-point range. You got different contributors out there, and
You do.
That's tough to
That's
guard against.
dangerous. That's, you know, who do you give up?
And Hotova tried to answer. Pegranecki fended off Zaplatova. So Hungary with that 2-point lead. Negi Budoso goes line again. 3 3-pointers here in the last couple of minutes of the third quarter, and Hungary have regained control.
You know, it would be good if the Czech could get a great shot here at the end.
Zaplatova, Yorlova, and that is it, the end of the third quarter. And Hungary proving to be mentally tough. They've had every opportunity to go away, but they now lead it 55-50.
And if you were watching this game with, what, 3 minutes left in the quarter, it looked like the Czech were in control of the game.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about how for the first time, they were starting to unravel at about the midway point.
Yes. Nope, they dug down, they made some...
Well, it just seems like every time the Czech Republic start to kind of get into their game, the Hungarians reel them right back in. And not only have they reeled them right back in, but they've gone ahead by 5 points, courtesy of a couple of Negi Budoso 3-pointers, and also, was it Shimon?
Yes, Shimon did it as well. But, you know, it started with Pegranecki. She created, she was aggressive, she found people. And it's tough because you saw on that last 3 that was made by Hungary, the play before that was the beautiful play where we had Hatar rolling down. They had a nice make. So what the Czech did was they said, okay, we're going to switch big to big. So you step out hard, I'll take the roller. And that's what happened. And that's why they were wide open for their 4-player to be able to knock down and make that 3. Like, how do you stop that? You give up the big roll, or do you leave the other 4 who rose to hit that 3? So it's tough. You know what? Hungary played great there at the end of the quarter, and that's why they're up 5. You know, we've talked a lot about Vandersloot, and I just looked it up there during the break. We've only saw her attempt 1 3 in the last yesterday's game and today. So I thought she was a 3-point shooter. So sure enough, I went and checked. In EuroLeague, she shot around 2.5 threes a game, and she made 46% of them. So I'm wondering why she's not really looking.
And, you know, she's had a quiet, excellent game tonight. 8 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds for Vandersloot. And that is not a bad night's work. She's also got a steal. Well, the 3-pointer couldn't have come at a better time for Elhotova. 12 points now for her, and this is the Elhotova the Czechs would hope to see every night. Negi Budoso, however, answers with the 3, and this is turning out to be maybe her most important ever night in international basketball.
I really think it is. She goes, you know what? I made that last one at the end of the third quarter. I'm going to make the first one in the 4th.
Zaplatova takes what the defense gives her. And another jump shot is good.
You saw Vandersloot after she gave up that 2-point basket there on defense said, she got mad at herself. She goes, my bad.
And
oh, wow.
Now a
court violation. We saw that earlier
Yeah,
today.
she was too slow bringing it across. And again, they're their own worst enemies.
That's the second time we've seen that today, you know, just maybe being a little passive, wanting to catch a little bit of a break, and not crossing the court within 8 seconds.
Negredoso again, front of the rim and back, but why not? The way she's been shooting it tonight.
And you know, that looked on. She just didn't quite have her legs under her. It was a little short.
I mean, just to make it clear, as we get the foul called on Natar, you've got a 4 of 7 shooting effort from 3-point, 4 of 8 shooting effort from Negredoso from long range.
And you know, that's your 4th player. That's not your shooting guard.
And Simon's hit 1, 3, and Zele's hit a 3. So she is the primary threat, and she almost comes up with a steal. Hanasova spins, works her way in there, and good defense from Hungary.
And that spin move was the same spin move she did last night and had a travel called against her.
Yep, she might as well just have that one called as well. And
wow.
again. She's turning into a Hungarian hero right in front of us. The entire nation standing up.
She says, hey, I can do it inside and outside.
Now the Czech Republic facing their biggest deficit of the night, and they're in a little bit of trouble. Bergrova pump fake, gets in, misses, and the foul. And you can see Bergrova upset because she had a good move. She just couldn't quite get it to fall.
She did. That was a great move. You know, the defense bit on her shot fake, and it was a hard, aggressive move to the basket.
So timeout with 7.5 minutes remaining, plenty of time. But this has been the turning point late in the 3rd quarter, and at the start of the 4th is when Hungary have landed some telling blows.
Asi s Öčou, s Álou, ten zadek je slušně silnej, nenechte si to tamto a jedeme Čaky s Terkou nahoře. A opravdu jezdíme. No tak si to musíš pohlídat v tom sektoru. No už to, právě že nám dávají trojky do osobky.
Nelépje hátra. 7-es. A betörésed gyorsabban jön, 3-as játszik.
Look at that, they've outscored the Czechs 15-5 since the 150 mark, which just reconfirms that those 2 3-pointers, the Fekvernecki jumper,
yeah, you know,
and at the start of the 4th.
The Czech team was up at the end of the 3rd quarter until the last 2 minutes, really.
You know what I have to say, you know, it's interesting that we were talking about Vandersloot. What I love about her, I mean, you like how she does so many things to help you win games, but she really plays within herself. She just doesn't force it, does she?
No, she doesn't. And, you know, I think she knows her strengths and she knows her weaknesses. And she really, she's a great basketball player. There's a reason why she's playing on some of the best teams in Europe, why she's in the WNBA. She was a star at Gonzaga. Go Zags.
More complicated. They find it down low. Roxanne missed the layup. Well, will that come back and hurt Hungary?
Did you see that pass, though?
Well, that was, excuse me, that was Simon that missed. Vaughn rolls. Vaughn from the baseline. And boy, that's a quality shot.
That's a great shot. And you know, for a post player to have a shot and a release like that.
Now inside to Krivocevic. And now bowled over by Krivocevic. And Hanasova says no worries. Krivocevic says sorry. And I don't like that for Krivocevic, and I'll tell you why. You've got a player who is absolutely on fire right now, and she needs to get a touch. Negredoso.
Yes.
And Elhotova probes. Venezuela comes up top, catches it, goes past Simon, puts up a dick little shot! For the Czechs, if they go down, they're going to go down swinging tonight.
Yes, they are, and I hope they're feeding off this crowd right now.
And it's a loud crowd. Vandersloot. Pekranecki, long three. Vaughn goes up for the board, and Hungary knock it out of bounds. Look at this. The degree of difficulty on this one.
I mean, there's not much more you can do on defense. You put her into a tough shot, and she made it. But she's played great today. I'm not surprised.
She's got 14 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Vaughn.
Oh, I feel like Vaughn has to make a move from there.
Going down and gets bailed out by a foul. And Vaughn should really be thanking Krivicevich more than getting upset with her, because she was in a tough spot there. Oh, actually it was, yeah, she was fouled from both behind and the front.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure who's the foul.
It should have been on Vandersloot.
Yeah, the first one was on Vandersloot.
They called it on Vandersloot.
Oh, tough shot.
Up from the line.
Oh, she makes it.
Well, Hungary have just been really putting the pressure on the Czechs, and all they've done is come back, and now they're down by just 1. Nagy Bedoso again, and this time can't get it to fall. The scrap. They're on the ground, and Vandersloot has it. From the corner, Simon. Nobody on the weak side to rebound it except Pekranecki.
And what has been the Achilles heel for this Czech team? Rebounds. Defensive rebounds, guys. Come on.
And Bergrova reaches around and commits the foul almost out of exasperation, because it's going to be tough to move her feet.
You know, maybe she said, hey, guys, that was 3 offensive rebounds. You know, they make it hard for themselves.
Sandy comes in for Simon, who's gassed. She's going to take a seat. Oh, Nagy Bedoso, no hesitation, and she buries it. She is having the game of her life.
This has to be a career high for her.
19 points, 5 of 9 from the arc. .435 to go. Woo, almost a walk. Vaughn, tough shot, she makes it. Both teams really raising their level of play here. Hitting some tough shots and some open shots. Those open shots are a little bit harder to make in this situation. Pekranecki, a little bit of shake. Vandersloot, she's open. Somebody needs to get that net down from the rim.
We have a mismatch underneath. I'm not sure.
Open, off the rim, Pekranecki. Krivicevich just loses it. I think they're gonna overrule that. The ref is gonna go over and have a word, and he's gonna say, "Are you sure?"
You sure?
And
And, you know, when he made the call, he kind of looked at the other ref first and then said, okay, you know, check ball, but then the other ref went over and corrected him.
I'm not sure why he thought it, but maybe he thought Mirolova. Look at on the highlights.
Oh, these fans are getting excited now.
Boy, it is just tough. Vaughn again, this time can't get it. And the ball went off of Bergrova. Hungary had 3 players in the paint boxing out. These players on the bench could hardly watch. Oh, good hands from Holtova. Budoso. Begrenecki works away free and hits the jump shot. And it's back to a 4-point game. Boy, she has been really, really good. Elhotova for 3, and that was off the back of the rim.
You know, there's still a lot of time left. I hope that the Czech Republic don't panic.
She doesn't wait. Begrenecki launches it. Now Virolova.
You need someone on the Czech Republic team right now to kind of take control.
Vaughn open. And what a fighting. Henderson really went up there to go get that ball. Couldn't quite get it. Yorlova puts it in off the glass.
They are not going away.
Boy, this is like a shot of espresso. 7:30 in the evening, and Megan Benuso again.
When's the last time she missed?
She is the architect of the Czech Republic's demise tonight. I mean, she has been phenomenal. Vaughn gets inside, spin moves, follows it up again, gets it back.
Oh, why not? Give me that.
3. And finally, probably the best sequence for the Czechs in terms of attacking the glass. And they've gotten another opportunity. I think Hanusova thought it was going to be the other team's ball. Look at this. That was the layup. Vaughn had a couple of chances to get it to go. Hanusova missed the 3. Crowd trying to get the Czechs going. Grova. And there was contact and there was no call, and I think that was the right.
Yeah, I think Grova is the one who put her shoulder down first, and that's a good no call.
Begrenecki into the corner. Open. 3.
No hesitation.
Good. Look at the clinch fist of Begrenecki. Is that the three-pointer that's going to put Hungary into the win column?
Wow, Hungary in this last, 2 minutes before the end of the third have just been in control. They've made big shot after big shot from everyone who's been on the court.
Hanusova with 14 apiece, Vaughn with 12, Grova with 9. And it really is a case of this Hungary team hitting some shots here in the fourth quarter. I mean, that is basketball. You have got to put the ball in the basket.
Yep, especially at the end of the game when you're tired, when the other team is tired. And, I think offensively, this has been a great game by both teams. But I question the Czech Republic's desire on defense, and especially defensive rebounding. They've really given them second chance points, and they've converted them.
Well, the Czechs, or the Hungarians, from a rebounding standpoint, 35, and 10 of those offensive. And Megan Budoso, you just can't say enough. I mean, Begrenecki has played so well, Vandersloot has played so well, it's almost tough to pick out the best player of the game for Hungary. Handusova's going to go baseline. She's going to hit a cutting ball, and then Vaughn. And that's pretty much the story of the tournament for the Czech Republic. A chance for a three-point play.
An easy chance for a three-point play. Do you know how many times Vaughn has made that layup in her lifetime? I think she is so surprised that she missed.
And now instead of going to the line for the third point, she has to go to the line and make 2 free throws just to make it a good trip down the floor. Are they going to foul? The question for the Czechs is, because Hungary has shot it so well from the line, they're 10 of 12. And I don't see a player with a
who do you
weakness
foul? Exactly.
at the line. And Krivocevic is 1 of 2. Tatar is 0 of 1, but she's not in the game. So at least Vaughn makes both free throws and gets it back to 5. I mean, in a way,
You
it's
don't
an
foul.
eternity.
You
No.
don't foul
No,
right
you
now.
don't foul now.
You can't foul right now. You know, they're going to advance the ball here because they called the timeout. You have to play good, strong defense. And you have to box out, and then you got to go for a quick basket.
Yeah.
Not a bad basket. You know, I'm not talking an off-balance 3. You
Not
need
as
to try to
Nitsika.
do exactly what you did the last time down. Go inside, penetrate, pass, try to get it to Vaughn, someone, and see what happens. But it has to be fast. But it starts with defense. It starts with defensive rebounding.
A zkusíme ten switch do trepu. Switch do trepu.
Well, Hannah
Celá
Sova's,
slabá strana, všichni jdeme.
you feel for her. I mean, she's been sensational, really. I mean, overall, the effort, what she's been able to do, but can only this trident of Hungary, of Mega Budoso, of Vandersloot, and Fekvernecki. I mean, they have been sensational in the fourth quarter, especially.
They really were. They kind of took this game on their backs, and we thought the Czech had control near the end of the third, and then all of a sudden they just started to chip away, and then every time the Czechs made a good play, Hungary came back and made an even better one.
Zaplatova has to be careful that she doesn't foul.
Yeah, you don't want to foul, but you want to pressure her a little bit. You don't want to make it comfortable.
Now ball
Great
comes
step
up.
out, that's fine.
Now Vandersloot again, pulls up under composure.
And then they got to go now. You got to go.
With the rebound.
You got to get a good shot, though.
Vandersloot for 3, she's open, she takes it! And just like that, it's a 2-point game. And now you have to foul. You either have to get a steal or you have to foul. I mean, it's Orlova.
I think that's what she did. She knew what she had to do.
Who have they identified? Krivocevic is in the game. Maybe that's who you try to foul. Although that said, with the game on the line, they're going to be hard to make anyway.
Yeah, and you know what, though? The Hungarian coach is smart enough to run a play right here, knowing that the Czech is going to foul, so he's going to run a play for his best free throw shooter to get the ball without even a pass.
And tonight, Fekvernecki is 5 of 5 on the line.
Balón nebo faul, balón nebo faul. Nejlépe balón. Můžeme od ty vyhazující. Všichni jdeme prostě teď na krev. Overplay, deny, všichni na krev. Vyhodí balón, zkusíme pokazit do balónu. Když se nám začne rodiblovávat.
So that last shot by Hanyasova is just further evidence of how good she's been tonight. I mean, that was clutch. Tatar's already fouled out.
Yeah, talking about Hannah Sova, after last night's performance, I think she really has come out and led the team. And there were long periods where she was on, especially in the fourth quarter, where I thought they should have got her the ball more, and they didn't, so I don't really know why.
Well, it's, in one sense, you have to say this is really the advantage of Hungary because they really do have good guards.
Yes, they do.
Fekvernecki and Vandersloot. I mean, which team would not want them to be on the floor right now? Cool, calm, and collected. Both shooting the ball extremely well right now.
Yeah, you kind of have that WNBA star, Euro Cup star in Vandersloot, and then you have Fekvernecki, who is the leader, the captain, the go-to person for this Hungarian team, who I trust both of them with the ball.
Well, they got to inbound it. They've already had one violation. And you know what? In the grand scheme of things, it is not a horrible foul.
Not at all.
You put a player on the line, Krivocevic, who has missed a free throw tonight.
one of only 2 people who has missed a free throw for Hungary. So.
Well, in fact, they're not even in the bonus yet. Sorry, one more than the bonus. Now Fekmanaki has it, and that leads them having to foul. Probably the worst option.
5 for 5 tonight. You know, a lot of those were early in the first half.
She goes to the line now, and it's a different situation altogether. You tell me, is it not harder to make these free throws now than it is earlier in the game?
Oh, absolutely.
Fekmanaki takes her
And
time.
with the crowd.
And gets a little bit of the front edge of the rim, and it goes in. Now, it's also important for the Czechs to remember, they still need to get a good shot here.
Yes, and you know what? 18.5 seconds is actually a lot of time.
And just no doubt about it. Now, will they take the 3? They'll take a 2 if it's open.
Yeah, you have to take the best open shot.
And Viorlova puts up a 3. Hanusova gets the rebound. And they're being well defended, and it is going to end in heartbreak tonight for the Czech Republic. Hungary, all you can do is tip your hat to them. In a great basketball game, they have come out and have played a whale of a contest. And that look right there on the faces of all the Czech players. They've given their best tonight, and it's not going to be good enough because Hungary has just been better. Congratulations to Hungary. What a performance. Vandersloot just throws it in from about 3 meters behind the arc.
Don't think it counted, but
no.
You know,
look at that. They know, especially with the Czechs having to go up against Spain next, that they've got 1 foot in the next round.
They really do.
74-70, Hungary beat the Czech Republic.
The best scorer of the game was number 15,
I think it's important as you look at the disappointment on the faces of the Czech players and the final stats here to underline the fact that the Czechs came out tonight and played harder than they played last night. They showed a little bit more pride, and at the end of the day, they actually shortened they actually ended up out rebounding Hungary. So, but at the end of the day, you just have to salute Hungary.
You really do. I think they played brilliant down the end of the game. And another stat that they showed quickly that we didn't talk about, free throws. The Czech team shot 10 for 17. That's the game right there. They could have won had they made a few more of their free throws. So I think you're going to look back, you're going to say, okay, you know what, we played better, but we still missed opportunities.
Well, 74-70. Hanusova, I don't think could have done much more to help her team tonight. I think more than anything, really, it just seems like the Czechs are just that little bit short-handed, and also Hungary really did a good job of putting the clamps on Kia Vaughn tonight, making life miserable for her, even to the point when she had opportunities to score. She was under pressure and she was missing some shots that she would normally make inside, in the lane.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, she had those 3 fouls very early in the game. I think that took her out of the game, but I think it's Hungary's game plan. You know, they took Kia Vaughn out of the game, and that really hurt them. You know, I talked about more people need to step up other than Kia Vaughn, and we saw that tonight with the Czech Republic, but they just couldn't get it done on the defensive end.
Well, certainly Negavidoso is going to be, well, she's got something to remember for the rest of her life. I mean, how sensational, utterly sensational she was with the game on the line, you know, in so many situations where she had to hit big shots. She was able to come through in the clutch. No hesitation whatsoever from her on any of those. But it helps to have some support. There you see her rolling to the basket and scoring. And she also had the support of Fegvernecki. She had the support of Fegvernecki, of Vandersloot, so it wasn't all on her, but at the same time, she was just utterly superb.
She really was, and you know, like you said, it was definitely a team effort by the Hungarians. But when you needed a big shot, a hard shot, she nailed it. She really did, and she became that problem for that, you know, that stretch 4 position, and they were worried. You know, Hatar only ended up with 6 points and fouling out, but I thought she did an excellent job tonight. Even though maybe statistically you don't see that from her, they were afraid to leave her under the basket, and that's why we had open threes from the perimeter.
And also, I like the job that Svitek did tonight. I mean, he really did manage the game well in certain situations. It seemed like he knew when to call his timeouts. Well, he did know when to call his timeouts. And like you said, to set up that play where they inbounded it, and Kia Vaughn came up and fouled Krivocevic. He just wanted to make sure that, you know, no panic was going to set in, that everybody knew what they were going to do. And of course, Fegvernecki then on the next play ends up getting fouled and makes the 2 free throws that pretty much put the game out of reach.
Yeah, 2 clutch free throws here in a packed gym with the crowd, you know, trying to distract her, and maybe rolls in the first one, but she swishes the second. Those were the biggest free throws of the game.